Okay, so what is the brain science behind Athena? Why do we care about the brain science behind Athena? Because we have a problem. And the problem that we're usually dealing with, whether it's the person who is training the horse or whether it's the end person who's coming for some therapeutic thing on the horse, is that person is often unhappy. And that usually happens because of two things. An oversensitive nervous system, and trauma can do this to you, autism can do this to you, and an overactive part of your brain called the amygdala. And the amygdala governs fight, flight and freeze and tells your body to produce a stress hormone called cortisol. And cortisol is a neurotoxin, like a pair of scissors, that momentarily cuts the cord, the connection between the subconscious brain and the conscious brain. The part of your brain that's regulating your heartbeat, your body temperature, your digestion, all the things that keep you alive, and the part of the brain that's logic, reason, planning, saying, what do I have for lunch? If you are constantly having your amygdala triggered by your oversensitive nervous system, you end up in a vicious cycle. And that is why people feel they can't break out of their symptoms. And this could be the person who's going to be training the horse, and this could be the end user of the horse, perhaps the child that is going to be the one who receives this. So when the person is training the horse, they get a bit of a solution to this problem. They move and they problem solve, and they get something called BDNF in their brain. It's a protein that your brain produces when you move and problem solve. And the B stands for brain. The D stands for derived, meaning produced by. The N stands for neuro, that's brain cells. Trophic, that's growing of brain cells. Factor, effect, the brain producing more of its own brain cells. Neuroplasticity, effectively growing a new brain. And being around the animals also calms the nervous system. And so among these new brain cells that are being produced are a series of cells called Purkinje cells, Purkinj, named after a Czech scientist in the 19th century called Purkinje, who discovered them. They govern motor skills and, much more importantly, social skills. So if you are suffering from social anxiety, trauma, that sort of thing, just the process of the horse training is going to give this to you. Calming your nervous system, neuroplasticity, giving you this motor and social skills. However, there's an even better effect for the person who's the end user. That's the person who's going to sit on this horse that this person has created. They are coming with the same problem, usually autism, other associated neuropsychiatric disorders, and they get their hips rocked because you have produced now a horse that can create these wonderful rhythmic rhythms, and that makes their body produce a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin also calms the nervous system, and then it tells the amygdala to switch off. Says there is no threat. We do not need to produce cortisol right now. So that just stops. And then they also get the BDNF, the protein in the brain, because they are moving and problem solving as well. Just balancing up there on top of the horse is giving them the Purkinje cells through the BDNF, which again is giving them motor and social skills. And a lot of people who are autistic, in particular, we don't know why, but they suffer from a deficit of Purkinje cells. Autopsies on adult autists have shown this. So now both the person who is producing the horse, the adult or young adult, and perhaps the child or adult who's sitting on top of the horse that's produced, enter a positive cycle. and they can break out of being trapped in those symptoms. Now, there's one more individual here who's getting this BDNF effect, and that's the horse. So the horse is being constantly worked through a series of exercises in ATHENA, in which he constantly crosses the center line of his body and brain with these exercises, these in-hand exercises we're doing. And that also creates BDNF, the same protein in the horse. And so what you get from the horse is this meta-horse, this basically greater brain being grown in the horse going from no, which is where all horses start, to yes, to at your service with pleasure, because they are also getting this same effect, the BDNF. So both the people that are producing the horse, the people that are receiving the services on the horse, and the horse are all getting this. That's the beauty of the brain science.